Hello students, welcome back to Science 2 lecture. Today we are going to see the next part of our chapter number 5 today's towards green energy. In our last lecture we have studied about the basic concept of generating of electricity. After watching this lecture you will gain the knowledge of various energy sources. You will also understand how about different process of generation of electricity and environment. Now in the last lecture we studied about generation of electrical energy. So the electrical power generating machine based on the principle of electromagnetic induction, which was invented by Michael Faraday, is called as electric generator. Now we studied that large generators are used in commercial power generation plants, and turbines, the basic thing which is there in this type of generator is the turbine. So different types of sources is used. It can be liquid or it can be gas to rotate the turbine, and hence the turbine rotates the magnet which is present in the generator, and this results into the generation of electricity. The size or the design of the turbine depends on the source of the energy used to rotate the turbine, right? So all this we have studied in our previous lecture. In today's lecture we are going to study about thermal energy based electric generation. So we will see here the electric power station, the basic electric power station. If we will see, so we have here water or fuel. Okay, the source of energy can be water or fuel. Then we have a boiler. So because of the boiler, steam is generated. Okay, if water is used in the boiler, water is being boiled, and this results into the generation of steam. The steam is being blown on the blades of the turbine. The turbine rotates the magnet, and it creates potential energy. So mechanical energy is being conducted, and this rotation causes the generation of electricity in the electrical generator. So this is the basic electric power station working. Now let us see the thermal power plant working. How does thermal power plant work? Now in this, the turbine is rotated using steam. Okay, here also the turbine is rotated using steam, and water is heated in the boiler. Okay, so as you can see in the picture, we have a boiler in which water is being heated. Because of the water being boiled, steam is generated. This steam rotates the turbine. Now see here, you can see it is being connected by a pipe. So this rotates the turbine. Using the thermal energy released due to burning of coal, steam of very high temperature and pressure is generated. The energy in the steam drives the turbine. Thus, the generator connected to the turbine rotates and electrical energy is produced. Okay. Now, the steam is converted back into the water, and the water is recirculated to the boiler. Now, children, see here, one thing is there, an additional thing, the steam is again converted back into water in a condenser. Okay, so using this warm water, see here you can see from the turbine a pipe is been connected through which the steam is been collected in the condenser, and this warm water is been transported to the cooling tower. From the cooling tower it is again pumped back. So this warm water is been converted into cold water, and this cold water is been transformed back into the condenser, and through the condenser it is been again recirculated to the boiler. Over here again the cold water is been boiled, and because of the boiled water steam is generated, and it is been transported to the turbine. The turbine henceforth creates electrical energy, and that steam is being transported to the condenser. So this is the structure of this is the working of the thermal power plant. This is how the thermal power plant works. This step will be repeated again and again, right? So this is how the thermal power plant works. Okay, so in here if you will see, so the chemical energy in coal, okay, chemical energy in coal, it is been converted, it is been used for thermal energy, okay. Then this energy is been transformed into kinetic energy in the form of steam. The kinetic energy is then again transformed into the turbine, and then we get electrical energy. All right. Now there are some problems but related to thermal energy power plant. So what is this? First of all, air pollution due to burning of coal, because since we are using coal over here, thermal energy which is in the form of coal, it causes air pollution, right? It results in emission of gas like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxide. So since we are burning coal, it results into air pollution. These gases may cause serious health issues related to the respiratory system. The reserves of fuel used in this method, that is coal, is limited, isn't it? The coal which we are using for the combustion, it is very limited, right? So these are few problems which are being related to the thermal power plant. Okay, now we have, next is nuclear power plant. Now what is nuclear power plant? In nuclear power plant, it does not use the fuel coal. Over here we are not using coal. Air pollution does not arise. And so here a basic, I mean advantage, if we will say, advantage is what, that we are not using coal, and because we are not using coal, air pollution will not take place, right? So what is happening in nuclear power plant? Let's see that. So in nuclear power plant, steam turbine is used to rotate the generator. Over here, the energy released by fission of nuclei of atoms like uranium or plutonium is used to generate the steam of high temperature and high pressure. The energy in the steam rotates the turbine, which in turn derives the generator producing electricity. Now here's a flow chart you can see for nuclear power plant. So we, over here we have a boiler in which nuclear reactors are present. In this, atoms of uranium or plutonium are used, okay. So because of the fission of these nucleic atoms, heat is generated, okay, of high temperature and high pressure. Now this, because of this heat, steam is also generated, right? So that steam rotates the turbine, and thus it in return it rotates the, because of that rotation of turbine, the generator produces electricity. But over here the fundamental thing which is used is the nucleic atoms, okay. Atoms of nucleus are being used, the atoms of high temperature and pressure, that is uranium and plutonium. So if you will see the energy transformation, so we have nuclear fission which makes heat, then steam water, heat water to make steam, then steam turns the turbine, turbines turn the generator, and then electricity is being generated, okay. Now problem over here is it emits harmful radiation. Since we are using the nuclear fission over here, nuclear fuel which are very radioactive, so it results into harmful radiation, it emits harmful radiation, okay. The byproducts which are being produced after the using of nuclear radioactive elements is called as nuclear waste. So it is a big concern to how to dispose this nuclear waste. So that is one of the problem, uh, a challenge, actually a challenge for the scientist, that how to dispose the nuclear waste. Another thing, if by chance any accident takes place in the nuclear power plant, it can be very fatal. That means it can be very harmful or very dangerous for the human beings who are working over there, as well as the nearby person, okay. So accident may take place due to the harmful radioactive elements which are being emitted through the nuclear fission. All right. So this is a main concern over here. Now children, here you can see the schematic diagram. This is the flow chart, and here we have the schematic diagram. So here it is a this containment structure. Over here you can see we have a reactor. Over here we have reactor vessel and control rods. So nuclear fission takes place in this reactor. Because of the reactor, heat is generated, and then this in the steam generator, through the steam generator, steam is being transported to the turbines. Okay, now here you can see the turbines. The steam which is being transported from the steam generator rotates the turbine, and due to the rotation of the turbine, electricity is generated in the generator. Now children, the steam which rotates the turbine is again transported to the cooling tower. So this steam is being reconverted into water. Water is being transported to the cooling tower. From the cooling tower, it is being converted into cool water, and then the same water is being recirculated to the steam generator. Alright, so this is how a nuclear power plant works. The next type of power plant is natural gas power plant. Okay, so till now we have studied the electricity generation through thermal energy and then nuclear energy. In thermal energy we use coal, in nuclear energy we use nuclear fission. Okay, radioactive elements are being used. Now, power generation plant based on energy of natural gas. So in this plant, the turbine is run by gas at a very high temperature and pressure, which is generated by combustion of natural gas. Okay, now you can see the flow chart over here. We have compressor for pressurized air. The first thing is compressor for pressurized air. This compressed air is being transported to the combustion chamber. Over here, natural gases are also present. So because of the combustion, the gas which is being produced is transported to the turbine. So the gas rotates the turbine, and it leads to the generation of electricity in the generator. Okay, so this is the flow chart, or you can say an arrangement of any power plant of a natural gas. Okay, so there are basically three main sections are there in this type of plant. First we have pressurized air which is introduced into the combustion chamber. Okay, so over here in the combustion chamber we have pressurized air. Then we have natural gas which burns in the presence of air. Then the gas which is being produced of very high temperature and pressure, which is generated in this chamber, runs the turbine, and thus the turbine drives the generator to produce electricity. Alright, so this is the transformation of energy in a power plant using energy of natural gas. Now, efficiency of this type of power generation plant is higher than that of the power generated based on coal. If we compare the electricity generated through thermal power plant, the the generation of electricity is more, or the efficiency is more in the power plant of natural gas. Okay, and moreover, since we are using natural gas, it does not contain sulfur, and burning of natural gas also results in less pollution as compared to the burning of coal. Okay, so here's a schematic representation of a natural gas power plant. So see here we have fuel. Okay, that is the compressed pressurized air we have. Then we have the combustion chamber in which natural gas is been introduced. Then after the combustion, we get emission of hot gases is done. Okay, so then this combustion results into the rotation of turbine, and then turbine drives the generator to produce electricity. Alright, so I hope till here everything has been cleared, how the working of how natural gas power plant works, the difference between the thermal power plant, nuclear power plant, and natural gas power plant is been understood by everyone. The schematic representations are being understood. Now children, for exam, if you from exam point of view, you have to draw the flow charts, not the schematic representation. Okay, since I have explained you before also that schematic representations take a lot of time, it is time consuming. So to save our time, we are supposed to draw the flow charts of any of the type which has been asked in the exam. All right, thank you.